Hi everyone, my name is Honey. Today with me I have, for a small amount of questions, Simon Viklund himself. We're going to be asking him a few questions about the game. How are you, Simon?
I'm good. We've had a terrific E3. Obviously, I think a lot of people know about the Best in Show nomination from Game Informer, and the Best of E3 nomination from PC Gamer, the Dual Shockers Best Cooperative Game of E3, and also, of course, Rock Paper Shotgun Editor's Choice Award. We're pretty happy with the. I mean, we made quite a splash, even though we've been sitting in this like super inconspicuous, like ugly booth that isn't even open to the public, and just having people like invited journalists and a few ambassadors and a handful of influencers come by and play the game, and still we've made sort of a nice splash with our presence.
Yeah, I saw the awards you guys got. That's insane. Congratulations. I mean, you definitely deserve it. That's for sure. When they asked about like a base hub like in Destiny or Division, Ulf said he couldn't like really talk about it, and that kind of gave it away. And that there's something about upgrading it, I'm not sure how like that would work at all. Or I mean, I'm sure you can't say anything about that, but that was just so so out of left field for me. Honestly, I really didn't expect anything like that.
Yeah. But well, we'll see whether that's something. I mean, we want to release the game sometime, but we have
Right.
too many ideas to be able to like keep developing the game until we have all our ideas realized in the game. So we'll release the game in a state where we know that there's stuff we want to add.
Right.
There's more environmental hazards. There's more like indoor settings. There's more monsters and more types of objectives and whatnot. More voice lines for the characters. It's going to be a lot of stuff, and that would most certainly be one of those things that comes at a later date.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
The game is definitely going to grow and expand after release, and we're not planning on charging anyone for it.
Right. So yeah, that's another thing that interested me was you talked about how you wanted the game to be a service, but then Ulf kind of was like the way he reacted to the whole service idea, like he made it really clear he didn't want to do any
Yeah,
sort of like
we don't like the games as a
microtransactions.
service term because it comes
Right.
with a lot of like everyone thinks that it's going to be like a prescription service or it's going to be minor microtransactions or something like that.
Right.
But we don't want to go that down that road.
Right. Yeah. You just want to keep everyone on a fair. I mean, that's fair. You know. I mean, like I understand you don't want to like segregate the player base. I imagine.
Exactly. And then obviously we're going to rely heavily then on our fans talking to their friends and getting them hooked on the game, and probably hopefully the community will grow, because if there's like a 50,000 people buying the game and then no one else buys the game for a year, we're going to have a hard time putting food on the table. So
Right.
we're going to rely heavily on people talking to their friends and hooking other people, getting other more people hooked on the game, sort of.
Right.
Will do then.
That is very admirable, honestly. That's just one more reason why I trust you guys more than any other game developer in this industry. That's just wow. That is really just that's like such an that's such like a like not I don't want to say fresh take, but that's definitely something that you don't really hear a whole lot about anymore. Like everything nowadays seems to be more about the money instead of making an interesting, fun game. So that is
Yeah,
just
well, we're already kind of doing some stuff that no one else is doing
yeah
in terms
yeah
of like, I mean, we're not making a game that's for everyone. It's not going to be a lot of
right
hand holding, and it's going to be tough for casual gamers to take on this beast, because as I
yeah
said, GTFO hates everyone. So it's a certainly is a. I've told a lot of journalists that GTFO is a love letter to people who already play together as like a four-man crew or maybe three or two people, and it's gonna be the ultimate like challenge for those people, and that's really the target audience.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that I saw was how like you had to type out command lines onto the computer. Like I don't think I've ever really heard of something like that, but that just sounds so cool. How like you have to rely on one of your teammates like in a high pressure situation to not mess up his typing too much to get you guys killed. Like that just
Yeah.
sounds
That and the hacking minigame are things that are like they're super easy if you're doing it when there are no enemies around.
yeah
But once you're required to do it under duress, if there's a combat situation and you have to like someone reads something off of a wall or some information, and someone else in another place has to like type it into this terminal, and someone else is trying to cover these two people so that the monsters won't get to them. It's going to be like, yeah, intense.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're really asking people to, like, they're gonna have to stay calm and collected, or else it's just not gonna work out for them, and that just sounds so cool. I know a lot of games like kind of give you a lot of wiggle room, but this one really doesn't seem to be giving you all that much.
No, we don't plan on giving people a lot of wiggle room. No.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. We have so many ideas for like ways to mess with the players and add new like layers and layers of things. Imagine this: like you're going down to an expedition, or you're in the loadout screen, and we're big on giving players enough information so that they can take like informed decisions. And the information about what to expect in the expedition that you're heading down into the complex to carry out, so to speak. Already when you're reading that, you're gonna get some angst because you know, like, okay, we're gonna need certain tools to be able to tackle all these the challenges that we can read about already before we go down there. And if you're 4 people, you're not going to be able to bring all the stuff that you want to bring. So you're going to have to choose what tools to bring, and almost more importantly, what tools you're going to have to live without.
Right.
And one example is like, if you imagine that you're going down to an expedition and there's like invisible enemies down there that are really hard to see, and you need a motion tracker to be able to. So one person on the team should have a motion tracker that can tag these enemies so that people can see them marked in their HUDs, and then that can help people so that you can track them down and kill them. But then it turns out also when you read about the expedition that it's EMP waves will like wash over the entire map every 90 seconds, and that will mess with all your electronic equipment, and that's going to turn off your motion tracker every like 90 seconds for maybe 20 seconds or something. It's going to be out. So then another player on the team has to bring, say, an EMP shield, and the person with a motion tracker has to keep close to the EMP shield guy, because that's like a proximity effect, and becomes like a natural incentive for the person with a motion tracker to keep real close to the person with the EMP shield. And then there's also a natural like penalty if you step outside of that EMP shield range, so to speak. So all these things, like we have conditions where it's like no oxygen in the air, and you have to walk between like refill stations, and you can't fight for long or walk around for long before you need to find another one, or walk back to the last one that you know where it is. Or like pitch black, it's dark so that you can't see anything unless you use your flashlights, or like thick fog. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
there was
sorry.
a call on the phone. Anyway, so you fight a certain type of enemy, and you find that enemy to be like, yeah, this is a normal, this isn't too hard. But then later on, you might fight that same type of enemy during different conditions, environmental hazards, and fog and the lighting and all these things, like toxic air or whatever. It's gonna pile up and become this perfect storm of like, yeah, super challenging gameplay.
Dude,
Can I ask a question?
I just want to say the lack of ox. I don't think I'd heard of that one, but that sounds so cool. Oh my god, like the lack of ox. You have to like be. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like I didn't even
It
think.
just adds stuff that adds another layer of stress. We don't just have to walk around and explore
Oh my
and watch out
gosh.
for the enemies, but we also have to keep track on our oxygen levels for everyone and stuff like that. And maybe someone can bring like, oh, we can spend one slot in one person's one of the players like tool slot, and actually have some like extra. That person maybe carries extra oxygen or something
Right.
like. But then you're trading that for something else that you could have
Right.
brought with you. So
Are you
yeah.
are you told about those extreme conditions before the expedition starts, or are they all? I know some of them are.
Yes.
Yeah,
As I
okay.
said, we want the players to make informed decisions,
Gotcha.
but there are some aspects of like the layout and stuff you're not going to be sure exactly
Right.
how it's going to play out. So you're going to be able to go down there and make an attempt, and then maybe wipe probably wipe, I'd say. Most certainly wipe, maybe. And then you're going to go back up and start over and try it again. And then you know a couple of things, the layout and stuff. But some things might change. Like enough things change every time you play a level so that you don't know exactly what's going to happen. Enough things change so that it's interesting still. But it's still the same sort of layout. You don't know exactly where the monsters are and how, like if there's a scout in a room or if there's no scout and things like that, and exactly what you get in the different resource containers and where they're placed, to keep things interesting, even if you're playing the same map over and over again. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of different combinations of maps and stuff, and you're going to be able to read up on most of the most important information before you even go down, so that you can make an informed decision even already in the loadout screen.
Will you give us a tool for modding or like? Oh.
Are you asking whether the GTFO will have mod support?
Yeah.
We're not actually making any promises regarding that at this point. We just want to make sure that the game is super tight and fun to play when it's released. And mod support would be something that we could possibly add at a later date. We know it's a great way to prolong the game's lifetime, and we would love to use all these ways to make the game live on. So, and we're well aware of how powerful mod support is in that regard. So that's all I say. We know about it, and we will think about it, but no promises.
Are you going to be allowing HUD customization, or are we all stuck with the default HUD?
I don't know at this point, really. Ulf maybe would be able to answer that question better. The HUD you see now might not even be the final one.
Right.
So things change from day to day. We were just kind of scrambling to get some things done before E3. You know, we have network code to program and like AI behavior to program and visual bugs and like, can you restart the level? And we had the problem with, like, when you restart the level, sounds from the previous play session are still playing, like looping sounds are still playing. And we had like voice starvation from the sound cards and stuff. There's like a million things.
Right, yeah.
So the HUD is not like, it's a very, like when there's a visual problem on something that you see all the time, like the first person weapon model or the HUD, of course, people are going to be like noticing that very obviously. It's not there's few things that's final at this point. So
okay, yeah, I definitely understand that. Like, you know, the things that we see isn't necessarily the most important because there are probably a lot of game breaking things that are happening behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, definitely,
for sure.
Minimal requests for PC. Do we have information about that or?
A minimal request for PC.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The game is going to come out on PC, definitely. Like, we're focusing on the PC version right now. Since we're only 9 people, we have to focus our efforts and we can't spread ourselves too thin. So we're focusing on the PC version for now, and GTFO will be released on PC first and foremost. And then maybe if it's popular enough, or we can find someone to collaborate with and get help to make, you know, console versions later on, then that's not ruled out.
I just hope my PC can handle for the latest.
Oh, he's asking about the minimal specifications to play GTFO on PC.
Yeah, we don't know those yet. Since the game is still in development, we don't know exactly what the demands are. We're confident that the game will be very well optimized.
So, when it comes to characters, you said you had absolutely no plans. It's just going to be like to add new. It's just the 4 basic characters right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing is, you can either choose to have variety or depth.
Yeah, I understand.
And we choose depth.
Do you have any idea how the matchmaking is going to work? Like, is it a crime.net type of deal where you can just see all the public servers on at once, or is it going to be more like you get into a queue and wait for 4 other people?
I can't answer that at this point.
Okay, that's fair. One thing that I haven't really been able to like lock down based on all the gameplay I've seen is like, if you kill a scout that hasn't like been alerted yet, does it die and alert everything once you kill it, or like are the monsters that come at you when you kill it in the gameplay that we've seen just monsters that heard your gunshots?
This is really cool. Like, if you wound the scout, it's gonna scream like half a second later. So you gotta either kill it with a blow or a shot that kills it instantly, And right now, there's only like a charged up melee attack or the most powerful single shot rifle that can actually kill the enemy with a headshot with one shot. But if you have a DMR, which is the single shot rifle for the primary weapon slot, you can actually synchronize so that you're two people carrying that weapon and you shoot him at the same time and kind of do a countdown or something to make sure that you shoot him synchronized so that two shots hit the head at the same time. And then you can take it out even without those other tools, or even without if no one's carrying that sniper rifle.
Right.
It's not really a sniper rifle because most places in GTFO are cramped, so you're not going to be able to. I mean, the fighting distance is like 20 meters, 30 meters. You don't actually use a sniper rifle in the traditional sense in this environment, but for GTFO, that's the sniper rifle, sort of.
Right.
It's a high-powered semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask, was can you like sync the shots to take it out before it makes noise? I wasn't sure if like once you hit it and it didn't kill it, it like...
Yes, it's completely possible.
Oh,
of course, that shot is going to alert all the monsters that are in that room, but that's a better situation to be in than having the scout alert monsters and draw monsters from adjacent rooms as well, because that's much worse. When the scout screams, it doesn't just wake up the monsters that are in the same room, it actually draws monsters from other rooms as well.
Okay, that was actually my next question too, was do the monsters come from adjacent rooms or do they like spawn in out of sight and run in? So that's really cool.
Yeah, both.
Both. It does. Oh, so it spawns monsters as well out of sight that come in.
Yeah. You can't really empty. You can't like kill all the monsters in an area and then make all the noise you want. Like if you go up to what we call an apex door, which is a door that's really tricky to open, and it triggers an alarm as you try to open it. Then even if you've killed all the monsters in all of the map that you've explored so far, there's still going to come monsters. Spawn monsters and come kill you.
Right. Yeah, you're just trying to keep everyone away from the bank heist experience, the trustee and harvest bank heist experience.
You're supposed to not all. You're never safe.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. That's really, really good to hear, actually. When it comes to the mission, you mentioned about an expedition director in one of the first interviews before any new information was really known about the game. And you talked about how that expedition director can kind of explain to you, like, what you're doing, where the enemies are. Like, can you clarify? Because, like, I haven't really seen anything that's even, like, similar to that. Can you clarify a little bit on that? Or is that, like, just kind of been scrapped?
It's very much a core part of GTFO. It's part of the reason why it's taken 3 years to get to this point. We've had to develop this proprietary software, or this tool that we use to create these maps, in part procedurally and in part, with hands-on curating and tweaking to make the expeditions, both the layout of them and also objectives and conditions and environmental hazards and all these layers of things that makes up what the experience is like, even lighting and fog levels.
Oh, so the expedition director isn't like a person, it's just like the system that runs each expedition.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I was under the impression it was like a person who like talks to you over like the comms or something, like someone who like one of the wardens or someone who works for them. Okay, I understand. Yeah.
I understand why. Yeah, that could be confusing. But the thing is, we've told ourselves to not have anyone on the radio, both to get away from the sort of payday experience, and also to really create that feeling of being isolated and alone down there in the complex, because there's no way to contact you. So you won't have anyone on the radio contact you. All of the exposition has to be given through like conversation between the characters.
Speaking of the characters, will each specific character have like its own strengths and weaknesses, or are they all just on a level playing field and what you bring is their strength?
Yeah, the tools are what makes the difference, and the player, of course. If you prefer being like a certain range or carrying a certain tool, then you're that guy on the team. And whatever character, like we don't want to have it so that character 1, 2, and 3, or you like playing with character 2, but character 2 is already taken. You join the server, then you can't play with the character you like, and you don't have the perks or whatever that character has. That would suck. So the character is really only like the visual representation, like the model is different, and the voice. And in that regard, it's like Payday, where it's only like the characters doesn't impact the gameplay in any way.
Yeah, I always thought that was like really well done when I was playing Payday 2. So as far as microtransactions go, can you just like are they completely off the table right now, 100%? Like not even cosmetic ones?
No, they're not completely off the table. We just don't want to do it in a way where it feels like, you know, it's pay to win in any way, or it's like greedy. I mean, as I wrote this post on the Steam forum about it, and I said I'm probably gonna regret saying anything about it because it might change. So we're not. I want to say that now as well. Like, we're not making any promises here, because at the end of the day, this is our job. We got to, you know, make enough money to put food on the table. And if the game doesn't sell well enough, or, you know, and there's a million reasons why that could happen. Like, another game is released at the same time that, you know, kind of snatches all the attention, or the potential customers that would go by and play GTFO, then things change and we got to make money somehow. Or it could be having some sort of a founders sort of thing where you can support the developer, but it's purely cosmetical, just to raise money if things don't go well or something.
Right. I noticed when you move in the game, it kind of blurs your items at the bottom right. Do you have any idea, like, is that staying? Because I know I read a few comments on the stream where people were kind of like, they weren't really digging that.
Yeah, that's the first-person weapon model. Whenever it's overlapped by the HUD is smudged, or that's a bug.
Oh, it's a bug? Oh, okay.
We haven't. Yeah, that's a bug. We haven't been able to iron that kink out just yet, but that's definitely a bug. That's not going to be a product.
Okay, I got you. Is the game currently? Would you say it's in pre-alpha or in alpha?
That's difficult to say, because
Right.
you know, when something is in alpha, it's really like all the different components are done. You just gotta, you know, like, tweak it and balance it and stuff. And we don't know at this point exactly what features we want to have in the product when it ships. So it's really difficult to say in what state it's in, because we don't know exactly how many more features or functionalities we want to put in there before we think it's a product that we can launch. As I said, it's a game that's going to live on and be added to and expanded upon for months or years after release. So it's difficult to say. It's not the traditional product where that's easy to determine. I can't really say.
Right.
But I mean, the controllers are tight, and you know, the layout of the levels and the underlying systems like the Expedition Director and stuff like that works really well. It's just a matter of deciding how much more polish we need on the extra stuff. How many more enemies there should be. I don't know. There's 100 things probably we want to put in the game, and we're 9 people, so it's difficult to say.
Right.
It's not in beta yet. I wouldn't say.
Right. Yeah.
Simon, is Code Silver 2018? It will be, you know, like, last job for Overkill.
I've said this when Starbreeze's support for Payday 2 ceases, and if they haven't at that point released a new version of, what is it, like the 2018 or 2019 version of, or the Payday 2 version of Hope. What's the name of the hospital?
Oh, No Mercy.
No Mercy, exactly. The No Mercy heist. Then I will release a remix, like a new remix of Code Silver for free to people, because I've already kind of created one.
I just want to say,
in anticipation of that, but I don't think that they will release any new Payday 2 version of No Mercy, because that requires approval from Valve.
Right.
And I think that the crossover between Payday 1 and Left 4 Dead was kind of a one-time opportunity, and I'm not sure that they still have the rights to make a Mercy Hospital Payday 2 crossover.
Anyway,
but I don't know. I mean, I don't work at the company since 3 years back, so almost 3
I
years.
just want to say, I really waiting for Mercy remix, so...
Yeah, it'll probably come out. If not in the game, I'll release it for free so that people can get it.
I also want to say, I really like this system music in GTFO. Is this really hard? This was hard to make, or...
What was the last thing? Is this?
I mean, music system in GTFO. Is this was hard to find and make, or just like...
Yeah, it's still under development, actually. It's much more complex when you're trying to make really adaptive music, because you got to hook the music into different systems in the game. Like when an enemy is, like when when new enemies spawn, or a wave of enemies spawn in the distance and you can hear them roar, or when a teammate is downed, or when you run out of ammunition, or all these things that can happen during a battle. Like, these things should affect the music and maybe create little stingers or things, like, so that it feels cinematic, that feels like the music is reacting to what's happening to you as a player. That's what makes it hard. In Payday, all the music is like, it's just one layer of music, and when it's a control phase, then it's one music, and then when it builds up towards the the 30-second build up towards the next assault wave, then it's just a 30-second build up that goes into a short loop, so that they can synchronize, so that the assault music can start exactly when the assault start. And then the assault music is like approximately 2.5 minutes of music that's just looping all the time until the assault is over. So it works really well for that experience. But GTFO goes in and out of stealth so much, like, it's so dynamic in terms of the gameplay situation. And some fights are over in seconds, and it's like super intense, and then it goes back to exploration or stealth. It's we needed something that's way more sophisticated, and that's what we're doing. And it takes a lot of work, both in terms of like creating the music itself, but also implementing the music and hooking it up to all these different like parameters that are available in the engine. It's a huge challenge for me to leave it up to the game to arrange the music, because in Payday I could like make this 2-minute loop and it sounds nice, and it has like 4 bars of this riff, and then there's a drum fill, and then it changes, and then it's 4 bars of another riff, and then it changes. Now I'm kind of leaving it up to the game to be like, oh, something happened, so now the music changes in this direction, and now the player is hiding from the enemies, but the enemies can't see the player, but they're still looking for the player, so the music kind of goes down into something that's still stressful but not as intense as when you're actually fighting and the enemies are actually targeting you. So I'm leaving it up to the game to sort of arrange the music, and it takes a lot of like trust with the programmer and the game engine to pull that off. And I mean, we're not there yet. I'm not happy with how it works right now. And we actually went to E3 with the music system a little bit broken, but people have been enjoying the game still. So we're onto something. I think it's gonna be nice.
Another question. When it comes to the reload animations, I noticed you actually didn't have any. Is that intended for balance, or is that just something you haven't gotten around to making yet?
We don't have an animation team, like a dedicated animator, and we have to be clever. For now, it's just the weapon goes out off screen downwards, and then you hear this reload sound, and then it comes back up, and we know it's cheap, but that's all we can do right now on this 9-man team. And then maybe at a later date, we will do some, it's called an IK solution, where it's like animations that actually adapt to different positions, so that we can tell the system that, the mag is this far forward on the weapon, and then the hand comes up and grabs the mag at the right position and pulls it out. And like, I can't promise that it's in the game when we release it. Depends on when we release it and all that stuff. But we know that's something that people expect in all games. But we just right now we haven't prioritized that.
Right, that's completely understandable, especially when you're taking on like you seem to be taking on a lot of challenges already. I imagine small things like that are just stuff that you kind of just have to let go. And I don't think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And again, I'd say it's one of those things. Either you can have variety or you can have depth.
Yeah, exactly.
So we want to have variety on the weapons, and then it's kind of difficult to make every weapon like have too many details in different animations and that stuff. But it'll come eventually. Like we can add some depth, and we know about ways to do it, but we haven't prioritized it yet.
Well, I know I'm, for one, really excited for the reload update. No, that's really cool, though, man. As far as the sledgehammers go, I saw there were actually, like, different kinds. Like, I think I saw one. I couldn't make it out. Maybe you can help me out with this one. It was, like, Sledgehammer M something, and I couldn't, like, it was too pixelated to really make, like... Is that a different type of sledgehammer? Like, are there different types that, like...
Yeah, we have, I think, 4 different, but they're only different in terms of how they look. It's the same animation. It's a drive shaft, and there's a mace, and there's like a club of some sort, and then there's the hammer, or the sledgehammer. And for the E3 build that people played here at E3, it's only visual. But in the future, maybe they will be different in some way. Like you can do quicker attacks with a lighter weapon, but then it's not as powerful and stuff like that.
Right.
Probably.
Well, I know you said like you guys want everyone to be on the same footing, but there's also going to be progression. Are you going to unlock, you're going to unlock like stronger weapons and stuff as you progress through the game, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay. And
what's nice, what I love about that is like, think about Division, where it's like, only you can save Manhattan. Do you want to buy this weapon? Like, how does that work?
Right.
Or Destiny, where it's like, only you can save the galaxy. Do you want to purchase this sniper rifle for 3,000 glimmer? Like, why would you charge me if I'm the only one who can save the freaking universe? And we've written the story for this game in a way where it makes sense. You're only sent down there with gear that you borrow from the warden, and they won't let you have the better gear unless you've proven yourself.
Right.
So the kind of level up system becomes a natural, like thematically natural part of the world. So once you've proven yourself as a good scavenger for your captor, the ones who keep you down there in the complex, then they give you better gear and send you deeper down into the complex. And that also is a natural way to introduce new hazards and new monsters and stuff, because the deeper you go into the ground, the weirder stuff you'll stumble upon. So it's all like weaved into the theme is really tight, I think, in terms of it connects to different aspects of the game, like the game mechanics and how the game works, and explains a lot of stuff in a cool way that'll really work.
Okay, that sounds awesome, because I've always been one of those guys who goes like asks the exact same questions, like, why are you trying to sell me this if I'm like the one? So that's awesome. I love that. You mentioned a level system. I know you were mentioning for other games, but will GTFO have a level system or no?
Not a traditional level system. No, I don't think so. Not where it's like a number.
Right, a number.
It'll be on other ways. I can't go into detail about that, but it'll be obviously we speak about it as it's not a very cool analogy, but we want the players to create this golf bag, and when they see an expedition that they're going down to, they're like, "Ooh, maybe I'll drop my drive here, or I have my Iron 9." You know,
right?
And you have all these. You know, who in the team? We need a motion tracker. Or we need a glue gun on this one. Who has the best glue gun? Yeah, I like to be the glue guy, and I've put a lot of like resources into like modifying and upgrading my glue gun. So my glue gun is really awesome, and then I'm the glue gun guy, sort of. So you can take pride in being a certain type of class or whatever.
Right.
But it's all tied to what you choose to put your resources into. Okay. It's not your character, it's not the player character, and it's not necessarily your, like, it can change from loadout to loadout. It depends on what you have in your golf bag, so to speak.
Right. So is the progression as far as getting whatever, that's not all linear for everyone? Like you can choose what you want to get something like an upgrade on?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Different stuff.
Oh man.
But we're really trying to like not shower the player with different worthless stuff.
Right. Yeah.
We want to give the player like fewer things and give the player, like, let the player know this is the goal you need to reach in order to get this stuff. Whereas some other games like shower the player with lots of like common gear that you only like dismantle immediately as you get it.
Right.
And we don't want to create like we're a 9-man team, so we can't create all these worthless weapons that we know that players are going to play like the first 1.5 hours. They're going to use them, and then they have something better, and then it's like they never see it again. We have to do it in a more clever way to make it like things last longer.
Right. Yeah. You just want each weapon to be meaningful. I understand that.
Question, but are you tired right now?
Sorry, again, I just had Steve help me with the phone.
Are you tired right now? Do you want to sleep or eat or something like
I'm tired. Yeah, well, yeah, I haven't. I was jet lagged when I came over here. I slept for like 4 hours for the first 2 nights, and tonight I actually slept for 6 hours and 45 minutes, which is great. And I'm really hyped. After all the awards that we got, you get the awards on the second and the third day, because they really need to try a lot of things before they decide which ones get the awards.
Right.
And today we had 4 of them, or not, some nominations and some awards. So we're really happy with how it all turned out, and we're psyched to head over to a restaurant later on and have a dinner and put a face to the name of Adam Gascoigne, the writer, who will help us write a lot of dialogue and develop the characters and stuff for the game. He lives here in Los Angeles, and we haven't actually met him yet. So we're gonna meet him tonight. So I'm really psyched and happy, and not that tired actually. But I'll crash at like 9:45 tonight. And my eyes are just gonna go super heavy. My eyelids are just gonna go down.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. There must be a lot of stuff happening over there. Yeah. As far as in stealth goes, how long do the marks, or first of all, can you mark enemies that, like, if you're in loud too, like if you're not in stealth, can you still mark them?
Yeah, you can use your motion tracker both in stealth and in combat.
Okay, so you can only mark if you have the motion tracker.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of that's part of the, like, we're trying to make all the different tools really useful, and so that there's some angst in leaving it behind. You know, when you don't have the motion tracker, you don't have the ability to mark the enemies. So
right. Yeah, that sounds insane. Incredible, honestly. Are the marks permanent, or are they like temporary?
They're temporary.
Temporary. Okay.
And obviously, that's one of the things that could get better if you like modify or upgrade your motion tracker, so that you can have like it tracks the enemies for longer, so the tags stay longer. The tags can even contain information where it's like the health bar maybe, or the type of enemy, so that even seeing through walls, you know what enemy type it is and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing that can be added with better, when the tool gets better, so to speak, when you upgrade it.
Right. Yeah, that sounds awesome, honestly. Like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much new stuff, and I'm so excited. Like, I think the oxygen thing has got me so hyped. That's gonna be so cool to work around.
Yeah, again, that's part of the golf bag.
Yeah.
Sort of analogy or philosophy we have in designing the game.
Okay, so I do have a question about like the curated maps. Like, I know you guys say you have like a system that procedurally generates it, and like then you guys like curate it and like pick the best ones. So are the maps that we're going to play on only maps that you guys specifically have given the green light to?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just like all procedurally generated and like you thumbed up certain styles, or if you're like going through and thumbing up like specific creations by yours. That's really cool. Okay, so another thing, 6-hour missions, like. How did you guys like even like think of that?
We can do 60-hour missions, but I don't think we're gonna, you know, someone in Thailand or in Korea or in, you know, they're gonna die. Like, they're gonna, you know, whenever someone plays a game and don't eat and drink and just die in front of the computers, it's always someone from like Southeast Asia or something. I don't know. Dude,
I'm telling you, me and Krong would love to attempt a 24-hour mission. That would be so cool. I couldn't believe when I heard that, man. Like that was so cool.
Yeah. Well, we have the ability to create these maps because I mean, they can't stay in the memory of the computer, obviously.
Right.
A map that's that big, but all the maps are built in segments where, at the end of a segment, you have to go into this choke point where the door, it's like an airlock where the door closes behind you. Before the door in front of you can open and you can move forward, and then we can just flush out all the part of the map that you just passed through.
Right. Okay.
So you can keep going and going and going and going and motherfucking going.
Dude, that sounds
for
awesome.
All eternity. In theory, I mean, that's part of the like some of the idea is that people are gonna be able to like farm during the weeks on like shorter and easier maps,
right?
And pick up stuff to be able to play maybe that 2.5 hour or raid-like expedition in the weekend when there's more time to play something that's really long.
Yeah, I mean, that's just great looking out, and I mean, I'm personally excited to try the 6-hour mission. They're the expeditions. Like, I know
that'll be something to stream or put up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, man.
We want people to have real like bragging rights.
Dude,
so
I'm telling you, with my luck, I'm gonna get to like 5 hour, 55 minutes, and then like die and wipe.
Well, obviously, the longer maps are gonna be divided into segments, and when you die, you're gonna respawn at the last choke point or the last checkpoint.
Oh, that's okay. Dang.
Yeah, so you're not gonna be going and dying at the very end of a 6-hour mission. That would be cruel. I mean, GTFO hates you, but it doesn't hate you that much.
Oh man. Are there a limited amount of like retries, or can you just bang your head against the brick wall?
No. It's up to your persistence.
Gotcha. That's all right. That really changes things a lot then. As far okay, another thing is like as far as the sentry gun goes, I know you guys said it can fire on you. Like, is the sentry gun like will it specifically target you if you walk in front of it when there's no enemies around, or will it only shoot?
No. It
Okay.
only fires at the enemies, but friendly fire in the game.
Right.
So and even from the sentry gun. So if you stand in front of the sentry gun, then you're gonna get shot.
You're gonna get right. Okay. Another thing, how did you guys think of the how'd you guys figure out like how you want the monsters to run? Because when I look at the monster run, all I see is like the Naruto run, and I absolutely love it.
All you see is what?
The Naruto run. They like have their hands.
Oh yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, we tried different things. It's just we told the motion capture actor to just try different weird things where it's like it's awkward, like you don't really move as like humans move,
right.
But it's still like 4 limbs. So it's supposed to look awkward, and we have these different variations. Some crawl on the ground and yeah, it's interesting. We're probably going to go back into the motion capture studio and do more things later on.
Yeah, I know for me, when I saw how fast the monsters moved, I was like, holy crap, like that is crazy. Like they're like speed demons. I was like blown away when I saw how fast they were actually moving.
Yeah, those monsters need to get close to you because they need to. Yeah. They can only lash you with the tongue or the tentacle that comes out. Comes out of them.
The tongue lashers, like they do so much damage. Like I saw one like bring someone from like 47 to 11 in 2 hits, and it wasn't even like slow. It was like bam, bam, and like all his health was gone. I was like, oh my god, those are gonna be scary.
Oh, they're really good.
those are gonna be.
But he might have been attacked from off screen. You can't see.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
From more enemies. There could be more enemies close to him. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You might be over analyzing the video. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I probably am, to be honest with you. I've just been so excited. I've been trying to get notes down for all these videos because there's just been so much information y'all have released. It's like hard to keep up with all of it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at your videos and stuff. It's super like lovely to have fans like that are as stoked and as passionate and ambitious as you are.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's melting my heart right now. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love these types of games, and like I loved your last games, and I'm gonna love this one, I know. And it's just like I knew in 2015 when I saw that Ulth had left and started a new developer company, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to wait a few years probably, but I have some faith that they're gonna, if he's starting a new company, they're obviously doing something really cool. And oh my god, like I feel so vindicated just like seeing all of this. It's incredible, man. It's like I knew it. Yeah. I got it. Yeah, I mean that was just so cool. Another thing, like, are there any, like, I know, like, I saw people get like medical items like through the treasure, not the treasure chest.
Resource boxes.
Yeah. Can you can you bring those like at the start too, or are those like limited to on the map, and like there's other medical items we haven't seen yet that are going to be the ones that you bring?
That would probably be one of those things that you can farm and then bring and have with you from the beginning. But you also find them in the environment because obviously you kind of use them up quite quickly as you fight enemies and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's...
and what's nice about them is that there's like 3 uses on them. On if it's big enough, it's several uses. So you can use a little bit on yourself and a little bit on teammate number 1 and a little bit on teammate number 2. So you can share them in that.
Oh, that's cool. So it's not so it's not like just a one and done. Like you can split it. Oh, that's really neat.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. That was the end of the interview. I'm sorry it ended on such an abrupt note, but unfortunately we have been going on for so long. I didn't realize how long we had been going on for, that we kind of had to end it somewhat quickly and in a way that I couldn't really edit together. So this is just the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next video.